another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am A.D. Walker, the butcher, the grower, the motivator. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being a part of all that we do, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, let's see. Good morning, Mama McCory. Two times. Two, two, two treats in one. Two times. So, blessings, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. So, appreciate you guys for being here. You could be anywhere, but you're rocking with the brothers. The brothers? The brothers. So, make sure you are sharing, letting the world know that we are here. I appreciate you guys for being a part of all that we do. Make sure tag somebody. Listen, we got goals, man. We got goals. You're loving this broadcast. If you really love us, show how much you love us. Just continuously share, tag somebody, let everybody know that we are here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So appreciate you guys for being a part of all that we do. A lot. So, it's been a week, man. It's been a week. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. As you know, this is Freestyle Friday. Anything can pop off. We'll talk about a lot of different things. And I got to see, Pastor's going to come through. If not, we'll be here for a little while. We'll be here because I want to share something that's kind of, it's, the internet is an interesting place, right? It's kind of like the world. It's the world, basically. World in virtual space. The only difference is, I can see somebody in Japan, see a message from somebody in Japan in an instant. Only difference. So there's different quadrants or different areas that fall into despair or go through a conundrum, go through things that the other half has no idea what's going on. So I'm gonna ask again because as people coming in, as the folks coming in, welcome, hello, good morning. Is a pastor by the name of Matt Chandler. Have you guys heard of Matt Chandler? Sorry for the slurp. Because it's funny, right? And while you guys are thinking or typing, I know there's a delay, so I try to learn to talk a little bit as we ask certain things. So let me know, Matt Chandler. If you're in the building, I see you. I see the numbers. You're listening. Just put no in, thumbs down, whatever you can reach for if you're busy doing something. Matt Chandler. Pastor Matt Chandler. And what I realized, sometimes it's funny because you look on YouTube and certain people seem very big, right? And you think everybody knows who this person is. Let me see something real. Let me see, where is he at? Coming up. There we go. So, like there's a YouTuber. His name is, hey, good morning, Philip. Thank you for being here, my brother. So Matt Chandler, and there's another gentleman on YouTube. His name is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. I'm gonna tell you how many subscribers he got, because if you don't know who he is, that just always blows my mind. But then again, it shouldn't, because the amount of people that are in the world, right? Because the amount of people that are in the world, right? Mr. Beast has over 103 million subscribers. 103 million subscribers. Have you ever heard of him? Have you ever watched him? Like, my kids know about him, but they've never really watched him. So that's, so it's funny just talking about YouTube, talking about social media, talking about information or pockets of controversy that happen in the world that, a whole quadrant of everybody else. Like I didn't know anything about that. Just like even the John Gray situation, right? The whole world didn't know about that. Like, so probably a large segment of the world probably didn't even care. Um, they didn't care. They didn't care about John Gray. They didn't even know who that dude was. So I don't know. So there's a guy named Matt Chandler, and I'm gonna get into why I'm mentioning his name. But before we do that, let's do this and really get the show kicking off. It's like I got to do my station identification. All right, be right back right after this.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, man. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Happy Friday, BOL family.
Yes, indeed.
We see you.
Good morning, Keita. Good morning. All right. So there's two trains of thought. There's, because it's Freestyle Friday, I'm allowed to be all over the place. So the first thing is the things that happen on the other side of the internet. Good morning, Jeff.
Morning, Jeff.
And people that are like well known. You know how like we have a term, we got black famous. There's certain people that you'll mention, who's that? But you go to a cookout, yeah, who don't know who that is? For a while, that probably was like Kevin Hart. He was kind of, that's the first level, black famous. Like if you black, you got to know who this is, because he's in every other black movie that we watch, so, and then, they do something, they cross over. Now the whole world knows who Kevin Hart is. So I started talking about, and there's another gentleman online. I don't know if you ever heard of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Have you ever heard of Mr. Beast? Exactly. He has 103 million followers on YouTube. Right. But you got to think the vast world, I guess it's possible to not know who he is. He's American. He is American. And he has a lot of entertaining. He does a variety of stuff. He's probably one of the most higher produced kind of YouTubers now, because he worked his way up there, and he's smart because he's taking his earnings and he's giving it back into his YouTube, and he just does a lot of, he said, now I got a YouTube. Yeah. One of his best ones for me personally, and kind of how I ran into him, was he bought a car lot and he had cars out there and he was literally selling them for like $5 and $10. Literally, people were like, hey, so how much is it? $10. Of course they pause like, no, the car. How much is the car? Like $10. And they go in, like just like a dealer. They fill out paperwork, give him $10, he give him a car. So he's done a lot of, his attention grabbing stuff has been very charitable, and he's not acting like a charity, but he just does stuff to get attention. But he does a lot of giveaways, like to make it big. And I say that, so there's a gentleman online, Matt. His name is Pastor Matt Chandler. Have you heard that name before?
Pastor Matt Chandler.
Yeah, he's a white guy. Pastor Matt Chandler. Probably by the name, like, yeah, I know it sounds white, but
it's got a ring of familiarity to it, but I'm not sure.
So apparently, and now we're switching a little bit. So apparently, he has a church, pretty big following online, but he just stepped down from his leadership position. Mm-hmm. Basically following I'll say the word where it says, don't let your good be evil spoken of. So, he was having conversations with somebody, a lady, because he's married, a woman on Instagram. Honestly, we don't know if it was inappropriate or not. He's one of those dudes that at least I'll say that, appear. Just so, well, you don't really know him. I was like, appears. Because I've listened to some of his messages. He's really good. And he's one of those dudes, he's kind of, I say like you, Pastor, kind of walking that straight line. Like, I'm not trying to do nothing to mess up what God is trying to do. Nothing, And he said, yeah, I think I talk way too much with her, And it's just kind of, and everything coming out is like, it's not, nothing physical happened. He just had a little bit too much conversation with a woman, that wasn't his wife, kind of thing. And so because of that, I don't know if she's seen it or he showed it or he's convicted. I'm not sure all of that, but he decided to step down. But I think because he didn't want any tarnish on the ministry, he stepped down. But what he did first was he took what happened and he went to his elders, because he put together his church. He got elders, went to them, consulted, and they recommended it. Now he's still, I won't say new school, but the Pentecostal, I guess, not like Baptist. He controlled. He could just stayed up there, but he took the advice of his elders and he stepped down. And the internet's been crazy. Like, of course, everyone wants you to click on their video talking about him. I clicked. It was like, and they keep talking. I was like, he didn't do nothing. I was like, well, in the black church world, that dude clean. Like he didn't do nothing. And I'm with his conviction though, because you have a conversation that goes too far. Like, okay, I'm tripping. I've been talking. Yeah, I need to stop. This conversation going further than it has to go. And so I don't know. It's like I respect him for that. He didn't try to clean it. He didn't try to. I'm trying to talk about another pastor that he didn't try to clean it up. He didn't try to put it on other stuff. He put it. He's like, I made the mistake. Like he didn't put it on. Well, the devil. like dude. But anyway.
But here. Okay, was that? I mean, I don't know.
That's kind of where I was at. That's just kind of, yeah.
Okay, that's where you were. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me go back to your comment about, because I know you, Pastor, you try to walk that straight.
Right.
And I think in my heart, I feel like we all do.
Right.
But as straight as I try to walk, I still end up crooked.
Right.
Right. So I think that's where everybody is, man. And the issue that I have is it's hard. It's difficult because I've learned in my life to be very careful with my conversations.
Okay.
At the same time, I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
And I stay in trouble for keeping it real.
Okay. I got
right.
You.
I stay in trouble for admitting my imperfections.
Right.
Right. I stay in trouble for sticking to the word with church people.
I got you.
Right.
Right.
Because for me, like we talk about this all the time. The reality is David is one of the greatest images in scripture. And he had a man killed because he slept with his wife.
Right.
But we're still talking about the greatness of King David.
Right. Yeah.
And he had a man, he sent the man up to the front lines because he slept with his wife.
Right. None of us would have
survived. And now you're telling me because a man had too lengthy of a conversation, he needs to sit down?
Yeah.
Where's the insecurity?
Right.
Because I promise you, when people are trying to be delivered, it's not going to look normal.
Right. 100%.
Divine intervention is supernatural.
Right. You're right.
Ministry is supposed to be divine.
Right. That's true.
It's not going to look right.
Right.
Breakthroughs seem crazy. When God works a miracle, it's proof that it was God.
Right.
When someone comes off drugs, do you keep holding them to the fact that they used to be an addict?
That's good.
I seriously.
No, I know.
Right? Someone embellishes the story so they're forever a liar.
Woo. Right.
I mean, I'm just listen.
I ain't never happened. You're nothing but a liar. Every time you open your mouth to say something,
we're gonna mess up. And the thing is, this is not an excuse for sinful behavior by clergy. The reality is we're not perfect and we need to stop acting like we are.
Right.
The reason that man had to get sat down is because he showed an imperfection, and you can't do that with where you're sitting.
That's good. Okay.
To whom much is given, much is required. Oh, so I can't mess up at all.
Right.
I can't be confused. I can't not have an answer.
Right.
Because I'm sitting too high.
Right.
Nah. Sorry.
He said, okay, there you go. He said, right. Both spouses were aware of their communication. This you came in with other people saying their communication was too frequent. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's real. Where does the insecurity lie?
Yeah.
Because it's definitely, I mean, it doesn't sound like it's with the pastor.
Right. Right.
But it could be because he felt like he needed to go ask the elders.
Yeah. But then I guess if there's rumbling, like, this in our mind, I mean, I don't know. I might, like, if for the face of, to me, like, maybe for the face of the ministry, because it's grown, like, it's big. When things are bigger, they become a larger target.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
learn your lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
And keep moving.
Right.
Learn your lesson. See, that's what I love about the definition of repentance. The definition of repentance isn't "I'm sorry."
Right.
The definition of repentance is a turning away. Oh, I know not to do that. I know not to go that far. Oh, I see what can happen, so I won't act like that anymore. Right. It's a turning away.
Yeah.
It's heartily sorry.
Yeah.
For the indiscretion.
Right.
Right. And so I think that the grading scale, and don't get me wrong, there is much more expected of me because of where I sit.
100%.
Like, I should know better. Are you not in your word?
Right.
Does holiness and sanctification apply to you if you're teaching it to other people? It should.
Taking all your messages, throwing back at you.
Yeah, in my heart, for God I live and for God I die. But I'd be doggone if I had forgotten that I'm imperfect.
Right. Indeed.
So
she said,
I think it just depends on the situation. But I'm not going to be ruled by people.
I got you.
I'll be accountable, but I'm not going to be ruled by people. Right.
He said, obviously, they both talk too much to each other and other people. Right.
I talk too much.
Right.
I know I talk too much. I'm guilty of talking too much.
Right.
Why did you have to tell him all that? Why did you have to tell her all that?
Right.
I didn't think it was a secret.
Right. So it's funny, like, so has anybody else heard of Matt Chandler? And I'm kind of Freestyle Friday, so I'm liable to switch up a little bit. So I say that, like, one, to kind of bring that story to light, as well as it's always funny how no matter how popular somebody is or seems, like, everybody doesn't know who somebody is. Like, you think in your mind, you've seen them all. In all your circles, you're talking about somebody, then you, like, meet a couple of other people, like, yeah, did you hear what Matt Chandler? Who is that? No, you don't. This thing is big on my feed. It's all everybody's talking about. Like, and you're thinking, like, wow, because even, like, with E.T. or Eric Thomas, like, I mentioned even other black people, I'm like, yeah, this is Eric Thomas. Who? It's like, wow. It's like you think somebody's just big, but it's just like, everybody don't know who somebody is. Outside the president of the United States for the most part, and then even some, like, is that the current president? Like, I thought Barack was still running this country. Like, oh man, words.
I don't know, man. I need more information. I just have to pray for a gentleman like that and pray for the ministry.
Yeah.
They know, like, to me, there are expectations when you take positions like that, right? 100%. Just like any other
anything,
career,
right.
NFL right now, Deshaun Watson is in trouble for his acts of indiscretion. His alleged acts of indiscretion, because they look at the number of women, right? Oh, yeah. And that says, look at the situation you've put yourself in,
right,
young man.
Right.
You should have known better. Right. You know good and well, as an NFL player, anyone can come at you for anything.
Right. Yeah.
So why would you be operating like this? It just looks suspicious.
Yeah.
So my question is, where are your handlers? Who's speaking into your life?
Yeah.
Or do people close to you not know what you're doing?
Ooh. I don't know.
There's a lot that can be said there.
Yeah,
but the problem is we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
In the public, based on
right. Mind your business.
Yes, mind your business. Because the truth is, there is speculation. He said he wanted out of Houston, and then all of a sudden,
all this mess started coming up.
All this stuff started.
Or and maybe the handlers turned against them. Or they're loyal to
I'm saying having
the franchise.
having
Yeah.
24 women come out and say, "Ooh, he went a
Right.
little too far with that,"
Wow.
because no one says they were raped,
Mm.
right?
They just.
He just got too. He was foul, out of bounds. You
Mm.
understand? Now, here's the
Right.
thing: it's foul all the way around,
Right.
right? Because whatever's
Right.
driving the behavior is something that needs to be prayed about. You need to be
Right.
delivered from. Does that make sense?
Right.
But there's so much speculation on both sides. You could paint any picture that you want to paint,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, what should we be doing?
Right.
We
Right.
should be quiet,
Should.
right?
People need the views. People trying to get them numbers up. I
Right.
got
We
it.
need the numbers. We need the views, and
Everybody's
that's the
talking about
stuff.
it.
That's what everybody's
Yeah.
afraid of. I don't
Right.
want to be. I don't need to trend for this.
Right. I want to speak my truth.
Yeah, and that
But
could
then,
be why the elders in the church said, you know what, it's probably best that you
Good.
sit down because we don't
right.
want the church trending for this.
Yes, for this. Yeah.
But what does that say? But my thing is, so that lends me to believe you don't trust the God in me. I've been your leader for all this time,
Mm.
and now you're saying because of this, you're so afraid of what people are going to say that you've
Yeah.
lost sight of who I am and who I've been to you.
And just for clarity, it's not like a permanent. I think it's just this temporary.
It doesn't matter.
Sit down. I mean, I know. I'm just for clarity for everybody else. It was
Yeah.
and I think he still retains his leadership position. Just though he's not now the public face of the ministry for a season. And to his credit, I've watched some of his broadcasts. He's had other pastors of previous, kind of come up, and he shares his platform with the people in his ministry and things of that nature, or those he respects and things of that. One of the things though, like, so
here's my question.
What's up?
What happens to me
During this period
if somebody came to you all and accused me, right? That's the question. Because to Jeff's point, if somebody, can you put Jeff's comment?
He
said to me, if somebody came to me and admitted a possible indiscretion, I'd 100% extend grace.
Right.
And Jeff's reason for extending grace is because he takes a look at his own life and says, I would want someone to extend that grace to me.
100%.
Right?
Definitely.
That's that old adage, treat people like you want to be treated.
Definitely.
So I'm going to extend grace, especially if it's someone that you know.
Yeah.
That you have a relationship with. And so stuff like that, man, it's difficult to comment on because you're not there. You don't have all the information.
Right. 100%.
Right. But the reality is I would hope, because in my heart of hearts, I really want to do the right thing. I really strive to do the right thing, but I am far from perfect.
Right.
The biggest issue I have is people won't tell you when you don't look right when you're sitting in my seat. They'll say something, but they won't say it to you.
Right. That's true.
Because of intimidation, because they don't want to be on the wrong side or frustrate you or whatever. They can't go far with their explanation of how they feel or whatever the case might be. So they don't tell you the truth.
That's true.
Right? They hold back. And that's what fractures relationships. That's what fractures ministries, churches, organizations, careers, businesses, all of that, So, and again, all of this, social media has had a detrimental impact. Social media is one of the greatest things that could have ever happened, but it's also one of the most dangerous things.
It is.
That could ever happen.
The worst thing ever. Yeah. He says, Ron says, I know my pastor because our relationship, I know how to handle the situation. Definitely. I think with us it's more relational, and one is it's like, when if someone repeats to you what someone says that and you just like, you can either be like, that sounds like something he would have said. Like he said, what about women in leadership? He might have said that. But my first, like, I would defend, like, but know that his heart is good. He just was speaking either from a truth or a biblical perspective.
But you guys have an advantage connected to me because I don't hide anything.
Right. That too. That's right. Everybody on here like, Pastor.
Yeah, I mean, I talk too much.
That's not Pastor's language.
All my business is in the streets.
Right. It's not. Yeah. There's certain things.
But that can work against you also, right? Me being on here,
right?
If I don't act like I am without, and it's funny. People say, "Well, I make mistakes all the time." they say it in a way that insinuates I'm saying this because I have to say that.
Right.
But the truth is I ain't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas I'm saying, no, I screw up.
Right.
Like I need Jesus.
Yeah.
I have got to have him, or I will look. You all will hate me if I didn't have Jesus.
Right.
That's real. That's how I feel.
Indeed.
You know, I don't know any other life but Jesus since I came to know him. So that's what drives me. And for that reason, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of my yesterday. I'm not ashamed of my mistakes of today, because I believe that God is a forgiving God.
Right.
And I believe in the power of transformation.
Right.
And that's what I extend to other people. Definitely. And I get in trouble for that. I give people more chances than most folks would allow. Right. You know, I'm good when if I'm done dealing with you, right. Believe me, I'm walking away with bruises and cuts and stitches and all of that. And I just can't anymore. Right. They'll love you, but I just can't anymore. Right. That's real.
Yes.
But I honestly, man, I feel like if and here's the question, I feel like if someone were to come to people in my church and say, "Ooh, your pastor was," or "I saw your pastor," or, I really believe that the response would be, "You did? Wow. Okay. Okay." All right. Because it wouldn't be out of the norm.
Right.
You might find me in a bar. Right. You might find me in a club because I was invited.
It's called loyalty. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
You won't find me drunk, but you may assume that because I'm there, that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
And the question would be, well, if you saw him there, that means you were there too.
Right. I saw him at the strip club. Oh, really?
Really? Where was it at? Oh, 18th and Lennox. Oh, so you know what that is, huh?
Right. Okay. You was inside? But yeah, that's funny. Oh, so yeah, definitely that loyalty is a big factor. Not really just loyalty, but even forgiveness. And we talked about this week. Richard, this is like your day. We all over the place. We could live talking about bananas by the end of this broadcast. So this is Freestyle Friday. That's why there's nothing down there. You see, there's nothing down there because no telling where this top. I'm allowing this to go anywhere because we might hit some real good stuff. This is where the good stuff happens. He said, right. I had a telescope. I have a telescope with me. I looked inside the window. I seen Pastor.
There is that.
I was looking for parishioners. I wasn't looking for nothing else.
But what I've learned, when you think about that pastor, what I've learned is that when it comes to leadership, people aren't just looking at you.
Right.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
As a leader, I'm not evaluated by my own actions. I'm evaluated by my actions, but also those that are around me. Right. I've learned that people decades ago. I don't know. It depends. There's not a single season that goes by that the Dallas Cowboys aren't at least 40% of the conversation. To me, that's success. It is the most successful. It is the most financially stable franchise in all the NFL. That's success.
All right.
Hate all you want, but we got all the money in Dallas.
We got money.
I wish I had some of that here in Locust Grove, Georgia, but it's in Dallas.
Indeed.
Or Arlington, I should say.
He said, Jeff said Richard need Jesus. Oh man. But yeah.
So yeah, I think that it's the combination. Like I tell my family, my natural family, that people evaluate me based on what they see in my family. They're watching me, but they're watching my family as well. Right. So how those around you respond makes a difference. The people that know you. Right. When people that know you begin to disappear, you start to realize, maybe we weren't as close as I thought we were. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, to me, it's important for people to know that if you stay with me long enough, there's going to be a time that I disappoint you.
Indeed. I think that's just, That's part of a relationship. Yeah, we together.
That's just part of life.
I'm gonna say something, do something. Yeah, it's gonna throw you off a little bit.
People look at me like, ooh, Pastor and AD really, really close. I promise you, he talks about me behind my back.
Indeed.
I promise you.
Indeed.
There's just no doubt.
A lot.
He does, no doubt. So but this is what I love about the Bible, right? I love scripture because on my worst day,
right,
my worst offense of my entire life, I can find it in the scripture. And I can see forgiveness for that offense in scripture.
Right. 100%.
It gives me hope for my future.
Right.
And it allows me to be open and recognize that I'm going to make mistakes.
Right.
And for those mistakes, not everybody's going to understand. And certain people are going to hold that against me forever.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But I'm grateful that I serve a God who will not hold it against me forever.
Right. Amen.
And the more people that I have in my corner, it's the measure of empowerment that I have to continue going based on the encouragement that I get from people who love me. And that's what I believe that pastor needs in his life right now.
Yeah.
You know, Pastor John Gray, over the last 10 years, been in the news for 4 different things.
Yeah.
Right. And the latest is he was fighting for his life.
Right.
Right. There were people who said, "Yeah, that God getting him back, God paying him back."
Right.
You know, for all that. Someone said that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just like I was gonna tell you about Matt Chandler because he's like a hard preacher. Yeah. So there was folks
he must be a
happy,
false prophet.
excited.
He has to be a false prophet.
Right.
Prophet. See, the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out.
Of course you did.
That's why you can't go to the church. You can't. Right. That's why you don't need that church. Find your own salvation. Be your own God. Okay, foolish.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
Thank God for forgiveness.
Indeed.
Thank God for grace and mercy.
Yeah, 100%.
My 2 best friends.
Right.
Richard said, Kenneth Copeland. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, I'm sorry. He did it. He did it on TV. He did it. I got it. You got to call it out.
Jeff said, I always liked Pastor Gray. Jeff, that seems like it's past tense.
All right. Liked. That's it. And it would have taken the same amount of energy. Or
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. We need to pray for situations like that. Thank you, Lisa.
I'm gonna pray, then go live and expose them. Father, watch over him. But let me tell you what just happened.
I do too, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
I think he does great work. I believe that God called that man to do what he does.
He said, not Kate Copeland. I know. Listen, I struggle with John Gray now. I struggle, and maybe that's the unforgiveness. I mean, I don't know. Like,
why?
I don't,
no, just
explain. And I'll tell you why I struggle. Just because of the videos I've seen. The one when he was talking about his wife and the cooking to another woman, had his child in the back. That like really just.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like it's one thing, Pastor. Like if people have news and talk about it, right? I can kind of get over it, but that image and just him, like kind of dogging his wife to another woman.
He was dogging his wife to another woman?
Yes, on a FaceTime. I don't know who. I guess maybe she recorded with him with his child sitting right there in the back, actually co-signing like something about her cooking. Ain't her cooking bad? Ain't her cooking bad?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's his wife was probably not even offended by it because it's a joke of the house.
Maybe you're right.
Right?
Man, that's you're right. But it just
and so he's letting people in.
Right,
is what he's doing. You know,
I don't know. So I don't know. I just know
my wife. Look, what my wife cooks, she cooks very well.
Right.
But I don't want her creating anything.
She's not a creationist. Okay.
Listen, there are people who can cook, and there are cooks.
Right.
My wife can cook.
Right. Yeah.
But she ain't no cook.
I got you. I got you.
And we all know it.
Yeah.
But again, he's letting you in. He's not letting you in for judgment. He's letting you in to let you see that they're normal.
I don't think he released that though. Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it's his release. It wasn't his release.
Well, I'd like to hear his wife's response.
Breaking news. I agree. Now, when you said that, I agree to that. But I don't, because when it came out, it was during the whole everything else. It was just like, oh, but look at this too. So I don't know. So like I said, it affected me. Like I listen to him sometimes. Like I listen to him a little more now. Like I've had to, and it's interesting. And we went to his church one time. Like I forgot what was out there. I can't remember. It was interesting. It was very entertaining. Because I guess because he had what's that song? You know my name. That the singer. I can't. Jacqueline Carr. I think is it Jacqueline Carr? Whoever sang that song. She was. I think she was going to his church at the time. Praise and worship. Went into the song. So she sang a long time. He preached maybe like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Just, he gave a quick word because she sang most of the time. But yeah, so I don't know. It affected me. It affected me. Tasha Cobb, sorry. Thank you.
Jeff said context. Context is everything.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And these days, because of social media, we get it wrong 89% of the time.
Right. He said 89.
89. It's taken out of context. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, to Jeff's point, he said Kim and he dog each other jokingly. Yeah. I don't know anybody that's been together any significant amount of time that does not have some good, I call them heart sessions.
Right.
The stuff that's real, and it's painful to acknowledge that it's real.
Right.
But you have to laugh at it.
But I think what really was rough as well, and I'm gonna get off of it, was then his apology. His apology was, I don't know, it didn't seem sincere, and it was the excusable, the enemy.
So let me ask you something.
Ask me.
Let me ask you something. 10 million people listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go, people know you.
Right.
And you know that everywhere you go, wolves are trying to find something out negative
100%.
About you.
100%.
And now they got you.
Right.
They have something on you.
It finally got you. Right.
Right. And because you are up in front of people on a daily basis, on TV, on the radio, on social media, talking about the Lord and all that kind of stuff. Why don't you get on there and talk about it now? Talk about your indiscretion. Let us know what, can you imagine the amount of pressure?
Right. I listen.
Like you can't say it right.
Right. I get it. I understand. I hear you. Only reason I might not give him as much of a pat because
there's an old saying.
These guys are great orators.
There's an old saying called "Walk a mile in my shoes."
I got it. I hear you. I'm listening, but I can't.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
I can't eat all of that.
I'm a pastor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm always going to give it a deeper look when it comes to leaders.
100%. I get you.
Because if you have not walked it, and I'm saying like I don't operate in terms of viewership and all of that.
Right.
I'm not
100%.
on John Gray's level.
Yeah.
But I feel his pain.
Right.
Because I don't care whether it's 5 people or 500,000 people. Right. The pain is the same.
You screwed up, and now the whole world knows.
And now you got to tell them. I don't care if you have to tell 5 people. That's a hard conversation.
Yeah, I get it.
Right?
I get it. But his direction, I will send it to you. I will see if I can find it. If I find the one that I listened to. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, it really for his apology. Was definitely not for me, because I'm not in this church. Because I know, for one, outside your family, your church is like right there, like the second hardest people to have to tell that
that's a relative statement.
Yeah,
AD, outside your family, because there are certain church leaders, where they're not really connected.
Mm-hmm.
There's a major difference between launching ministry, building a church from the ground up, and being assigned or appointed.
Right. True.
Major difference.
True.
Right?
Yeah, because his was kind of, you're right, because he was not assigned, but he took over. But folks came with him. I think he had a ministry, so it was kind of a blend. It was folks he brought and folks that were there. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And when you operate in certain churches, like our church, I launched it,
right.
right? But it could have very easily had been me being a part of a broader organization and been assigned
Right.
to pastor the church. And I am accountable to a trustee board.
Right.
They can vote you in and they can vote you out. Right.
Side note, would you want to do something like, would you ever want to be a part of something like that? Or would you?
I have been a
You
part
have
of
been.
something.
Okay. Is it a lot of pressure? Do you feel pressure? Or you just like, I'm just doing my thing. And preferably, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I have interviewed for a pastor position before.
Okay. Okay.
It's absolutely insane.
Really?
For me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've had opportunities like that,
What made it insane? Okay, I know, guys. It's Freestyle Friday. We're going down somewhere. You're gonna get a message.
I'm just dealing with. I'm only dealing with. I just imagine like people who adopt children go through this regularly.
Okay. Okay.
Imagine being offered an opportunity to step out of your house,
right,
and go father another house that has
right.
children that you did not seed.
Right.
And there's a wife there.
Right. You got everything's already there.
Yeah.
And I got to fit into this culture.
Right.
And still lead this culture.
And have them love you, respect you, obey you as if they were your seed.
Right. Like you just been there. Right.
Yeah. Can you imagine the amount of weight?
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. You got ministers.
I wouldn't wish this call on anybody.
Right.
I'm still trying to figure out how I answer. I mean, I'm grateful to God, but the truth is, it's, the Bible says, cast your cares on me, for I careth for you. That's what the Lord says. Mm-hmm. We sing a song that says, take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. Right. And as much as they say that, listen, man, my shoulder, my back hurt from carrying stuff.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
God bless every pastor on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you. Yeah. I get it. I understand.
It's a lot. I can't even begin to imagine,
So Pastor Chandler, I'm praying. I'm gonna add him to my prayer list.
Definitely. And like I said, watching him, and my judgment is he seemed very sincere. That's my judgment. Quick flash, right? Yeah, you got the quick flash, Jeff. Try not to dwell in those spaces, brother. It's a slippery slope. So yeah, definitely that forgiveness, that judgment, and we have to be mindful. Like I said, it's just hard with Pastor Gray, and I know I just need to work on it. Maybe sometime from now, I could listen to him. I think I'm telling you, that video, I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm done.
It's funny. I was talking to somebody. This is a true story. I was talking to somebody that knew Pastor Gray well before he became famous.
Okay.
This guy said, he's a knucklehead.
One of those, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Mess something up.
And I'm like, and I'm talking to this guy, and we've known each other for at least 10 years. And he's telling me he remembers Pastor Gray from early in ministry.
Right.
And he's saying all that. And I'm like, but you respect me? Right. Do you not think I'm a knucklehead?
Right.
I mean, I know I've shown some signs.
Right.
And so to the earlier point, I think it's all relative. You say, he didn't seem so sincere. Another perspective would be, I really, really appreciated the fact that he said something.
Right. 100%. I'm in full judgment, all about me mode right now. I can't make it any plainer than that. I ain't putting it nowhere else, but it's all about me. It's all about
and then you have to, like with Pastor Chandler, you have to count up the cost, weigh things out, right? Yeah. Is the cost of me continuing in this and the success that we have and impact that we have, is that greater than the cost of me stepping down and letting someone else do this for a while?
Right.
Right.
He said, question, is there more compassion now or less compassion and kindness? I think
depends on who you ask.
I think like we spoke about social media, we got keyboard thugs, people that would talk junk and they would never say that in public or in anybody's face. Like they did, they throw up all their feelings on that keyboard exactly raw. But if we was in a circle talking about the exact same thing, they would come up with more of a nicer way to say how they feel, in a more compassionate way, other than just those moments, like if it's a high celebrity talking about like, oh, they just nasty, like other than those moments, for most part, everyone's a keyboard thugs, and you can, people just talk junk because you can't reach them. Like, I'm telling you, that's a man.
I caught that, Jeff. Keyboard thugs. I'm taking that one. I'm taking that one. You will hear that again.
Yeah, I remember I had a friend that told me when he was like, yo, I put a post up. This dude was like talking all the junk. Went to some party. I went up to him. I was like, so what's up now? My man, he said, my man beelined out. I was like, that's what he thought. That's what I thought. No, you don't really want to have this conversation. Like you just want to talk junk on Facebook and not, can't get back at it. You said great.
There's a story. There's a story of a guy. Did you see the story about the guy who was on an airplane with Mike Tyson? And he called himself trying to play around, and he played a little too long.
Or did he freeze?
Huh? Did I lose you? Did you freeze or me? Who's frozen, me or AD?
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, so I guess I froze, right? Did I freeze?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Because it's funny.
Well, I was asking you, did you remember the story? The guy about the guy on the airplane with Mike Tyson, and he played just a little too much.
Yeah.
He got knocked upside his head.
Yes.
You never know what people's limitations,
right,
or boundaries are.
Yeah, it's I don't get it. I don't. Yeah, and I don't know. I wouldn't mess with anybody I don't know unless I know you. It's which is that I try to step back and think through for a few minutes before I reply because I have no filter. I've consciously tried nowadays. Right, got to think. Right.
Yeah. So that's funny. The older I get, the less filtered I am.
Yeah.
But again, my train of thought is different. I think that it's okay to be less filtered if you're applying wisdom and knowledge and lessons, right? Me being unfiltered at 25 is a far cry from me being unfiltered at 55.
Right.
There's a major difference between my filter at 25 and my filter at 55.
Definitely.
He's rather hit by a car than hit by Mike Tyson.
Right. I think didn't the dude go online or go live? He's like, Mike Tyson hit me. I think he was like proud of it though. I think he was like.
But the thing is, Mike Tyson didn't. Mike Tyson popped him.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't put the full on him. He didn't put the full on
you better.
Don't let me turn around and put the full on you. One, you ain't a boxer, so you really not prepared.
There was a whole airplane seat in between them.
Right. You didn't get the real fullness. Yeah, instead if I sat near Mike Tyson, right, I ain't doing nothing. Right.
If I sat near Mike Tyson, I'd just laugh. I'd laugh and laugh until he started laughing. I'd be like, funny, right?
He's so silly. I just said I'll never watch the spot again. Right. So, Mike Tyson hit me. Oh man, yeah, definitely. So, we can as we begin to close out, I'm gonna show you something. Hopefully, it'll play. And we talk about people knowing folks, how big they are and getting it right. Let me see if I can get this. Let's see. It's Instagram make everything difficult. That video you can't Instagram. You can't like scroll forward or move back and play. You just got it. Once you hit it, let me see. All right.
It almost helps Serena that. Oh,
look at that.
More stars.
Gladys Knight.
Hello.
Really?
It almost helps Serena
right.
that.
Did they just call Dionne Warwick Gladys Knight?
They did.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
They don't even have the same complexion.
Nope.
Gladys Knight.
Right. Oops. Listen, I wish what I should have pulled up is the one, man, it's always going to be the classic when Samuel Jackson and the
Oh, yeah.
reporter, and he called him what did he call him?
Larry Fishburne.
Larry Fishburne. He said,
Yeah.
"I'm the other black guy," and then my man tried to keep it. Oh, we no, you ain't about to glaze over this.
I love that. That was golden.
Yes,
That was
yes.
worth an Oscar all by itself.
Yes.
Sam
He
Jackson.
said, "I'm the what
done.
you want what you got in your wallet, black guy." Like,
You got me here for a whole interview and you called me Larry Fishburne.
Oh man. Oh man. Right. He said I should have taken the secretary job. Right. Oh man. So yeah. and it's funny, like you would think these folks, well, I wouldn't if I don't know, maybe he was confident. I know who this is. I know who this is. Do you know which NFL team playing in London this year? Oh, love see Dallas Cowboy Chili. Forgive me. Not the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Oh man. Oh,
I can't remember. I can't remember who's going to London.
All right. So listen, we had a great week. It's been a long one. A lot of great things happened. We made it past our goal, made some things happen. Appreciate the giving. And speaking of giving, I gotta learn my segues better. If you feel the opportunity, if you're feeling a burning sensation to support us financially, as you do every day as you come through and watch our show, feel free to give. Cash App, BOL, $BOL 2019, $BOL 2019, as we build our mission to spread this message, as well as go out into the streets and compel men to be a part of the Brothers of Legacy, being part of the community, helping with a lot of our initiatives that we were pushing forward. And I got some stuff coming, definitely happening. I don't want to announce it yet because I want to give y'all a date on it. But great things are happening. He said, I thought that was, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. That was smooth as silk. He said, maybe one day, Ryan, Corey, take me to Cowboys one day. Just love to see a game live. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You ever realize, like, at a lot of jobs, they give away baseball tickets, but do they ever give away football and basketball tickets like they do? You ever like baseball? Oh, yeah. How many you got? 20?
Yeah, but you want to know why?
Okay. Educate me. Why?
I absolutely will. Here's why it's harder to get football and basketball tickets over baseball tickets. Because they play 1,000 games in baseball.
I think you're gonna say that. I was like, "What's still gonna be a lot of games?"
Yeah, and there's like 17 games in football.
Right.
Wow.
There's
There's 82 games in basketball.
Okay.
Right?
But it's like 1,000. I'm gonna look up that exact number. But you're right. You're right. Baseball is like it feels like every day. It's a game.
They play forever, man. It's like, is there ever an off season in baseball?
Right.
Spring training, what?
The World Series is probably about to own the playoffs, and the World Series are probably about
baseball is
to
like hockey. They're always playing.
It's like,
like didn't they? The Stanley Cup was just last week.
Right. And then right back at it like 2 weeks later. Like no off season. All right, guys. So I appreciate you. Hopefully you got something out of this. Be forgiving. Things happen, especially with celebrities and things like that. Try to find a way to forgive and don't turn away messages, because I know when it comes to preachers and ministers and things happen, and I'm thinking personally, it's hard to hear, but you might be missing out on your blessing. So take that word. We look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. It's Labor Day.
It is.
So
it is.
we'll be here. We'll be
day
here.
after the day of rest, Sunday. The day after Sunday is Labor Day.
Day after Sunday. Yes.
Right.
And if you're in the Georgia,
you know what?
What's up?
I thought about something.
Go ahead.
Sundays are always a little sad. But the day before is a Saturday.
I guess we'll get that later. Oh, boo! Gotta go. I'm out.
Wait.
I'm out. I'm out.
Wait.
What?
Did you know that dogs
Out of all of
cannot operate MRI machines? Dogs cannot operate MRI machines, but
No.
cats can.
Got some more start.
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
You know you're American going in the bathroom and you're American coming out of the bathroom. But what are you while you're in the bathroom?
What's that?
European.
I had no idea. All right, I got one. I got this last one. Well, I don't know if Pat's going to get the last one. It said a woman got a pet parrot, but was horrified to discover that all it did was say mean things and insult her. Nothing she did could stop it. She was especially worried because of her whole family was coming over for Christmas lunch. But when the lunch finally came, the parrot didn't say a word the entire time. After the meal, the parrot turned to its owner and said, "Please forgive my behavior from before. I was entirely out of line." "Wow," the woman said, "glad to hear it." "If I may ask," said the parrot, "what on earth did the turkey say to you?"
Wow.
Siri told me that joke. All right. All right.
Well, okay. All right.
All right. Let's go. Let's close it out. Let's close it out. What's up?
I got one for you. Woman walks into a pet store
Uh-huh.
and there's a parrot in the
Yes.
pet store.
Yes.
The woman walks by the parrot and the parrot looks at her and says, "Ooh, you sure is ugly." The woman's
Okay.
like, "What? You sure is ugly." She went to the owner of the pet store like, "You need to get rid of that parrot.
Right.
I come in here all the time and that parrot has just offended me." "Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize." Woman shows back up at the pet store a week later, walking around looking at pets. She walks past the parrot again. The parrot says, "Woo, you sure is ugly." She got livid. She told the store owner, she said, "Listen, I'm going to sue you if you don't get that parrot to watch his mouth or watch his beak when I come in here. He should not say things like that to me. I promise you, I'll let him know you can't say that to her. You can't."
Yeah.
So a week later, she comes back in the store looking for the parrot.
Mm.
She walks right down the aisle where the parrot is, looks at the parrot, and the parrot looks back at her and says, "You know."
Listen, be safe out here on these streets. Take care of yourself. Drive safely. 988 if you're having a mental health crisis. 988. You or someone you love or someone around you. All right, guys. See you in the AM Monday. We love you guys. We love you, but Jesus loves you better. Take care. So, I can't. Hold on. I'm hitting the wrong button. Mess with you. Let's go.